Okay. And I am back. And so we were playing Forza Horizon 3 with the actual gameplay of Forza Horizon 3. Yes! And I am driving the 2016 Aston Martin Vulcan. Because we have to have something that sounds like fucking hammer! Especially when you freaking press that accelerator down. It does not sound like that at all, but it sounds freaking awesome anyway. I like it. Yes. Ooh, I can't even tell how fast I'm going. 30 frames. Oh god, did it fucking lock itself to 30 frames? You sack of crap. Ask you to do one thing, you do the other. No, stop that. Stop messing with my difficulties. Actually, I do need to see where the hell I have them. ABS on. Yes, that's fine. Yeah, that's all fine. Though I will eventually turn that shifting to manual. Just not yet. God, I know. I just said that last night. Didn't you? Okay, so Dag. Okay, whatever. Unlocked. Don't really need motion blur on. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's more like it. Holy hell, fuck yes. I was like, I know this thing does way better than 30 frames per second at these settings. Yeah! Oh. Where the fuck did it get to? Where did it go? The lorry just disappeared. I know it's not what we would call here. Okay, there he is. But I'm like, it just looked like it moved it off screen. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, there's some popping. But I did turn a lot of details down. This is how you get a smooth, ultra smooth. Except for that fucking frame dip. Ultra smooth gaming experience in Forza Horizon 3 on an older system like this. This is a system. If you're not familiar with these, now while this did support it is using actually not even just supporting, but it actually is using currently a 6-core 12-thread CPU. It is only clocked at 2.8 gigahertz. I do not have it overclocked because this board, unfortunately, as is an MSI, and MSI was not that great at that at the time. And it has auto overclocking features, and it's supposed to overclock, but it doesn't really support it that well. I mean, not from what I've seen so far, and from what I've seen on the forums. Most of the time, you want an Asus back in the day. And definitely like the Asus Sabertooth, that would be an awesome board to have. That would be the one you'd want. Though, I would also say like the Maximus 3 Gene or anything like that would be fine. I'm going the wrong way. Blah, blue is slamming on my butt. Or I'm slamming it with my butt, and I'm just going everywhere. Cannot control this thing. Well, that's because I'm not trying to, really, I'll admit. But I did a great burnout. So yeah. But these are the first gen i7s, so I'll be honest, they've actually aged pretty well. I mean, especially if you're getting like one of the 6-core or even at least the 4-core variants with with actual hyper-threading. They're pretty damn good. Like I was playing a similar system with an i7 920, and it's clocked about the same speed, and I thought it did just fine. Actually, I think it's clocked a little slower. I think it's 2.66 gigahertz. Now let's do some easy. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do easy. Because that's like, hey, well, that worked out. I didn't even plan that. Seriously. Oh, I haven't been on this road before. I didn't even notice. Haven't been in this area. Ooh, got some slowdown there. That was weird. God, I am just being bad. I need to go and get a slow car. Especially as I haven't played in a while. Oh, there's one of my friends driving a very slow car that I'm going to race just for fun. A Fiat Dino 2.4 Coupe. So yeah, the really unique thing about these boards, beyond the fact that they supported the first i7 Extreme series chips, or hell, technically the first i7s period. I think. But yeah, the i7 Extreme series chips. They also offered triple channel DDR memory control. So you could actually have 3 sets of RAM sticks. You can actually have 6 total sticks. And most boards support up to 24 gigabytes, which was pretty damn big back then, and still pretty damn big now. And for most normal users, most users honestly don't need more than 8 gigs. Most people, you know, if you're just gaming, you don't need much more than 8. That's kind of like, actually, I guess would be the bare minimum you'd want now. You would probably want to go up to 16. Or in case of this, you would go 12 gigs, like I have in here, at least. But if you're just using it for the internet, doing really basic stuff, light gaming, you don't need more than 8 gigs, honestly. Now, if you're going to be doing like any type of streaming or recording or any editing, you want at least 16 gigs or at least 12 gigs probably. You definitely don't want just 8. You want, I don't know, 10, 12. Like if you use one of these boards, 12. Oh, hey, there's a jump I didn't know. Hee. Oh, and actually there is... I do need to go get it. Ah, hell, come on. Come here. Ah, this is not good in the dirt at all. So where is this board, it says? Not in here. On the other side? Ah, hell. Well, there's supposed to be a board here somewhere. Huh. I was trying to see if maybe the door's opened or something. Or there was a gap in the side, but there is not. I don't see it on top. So I don't know where it is. If it just had popped in, or the doors are supposed to open, or what? Maybe I'm just blind and it's there and I just can't see it. It is a distinct possibility. Anyway. So yeah, this is what you would consider the first of like kind of the like Extreme Series Intel chipsets, or the enthusiast, you know, grade Intel motherboards at the time. Though they did have different designations on that actual chip, you know, on the 13 LGA 1366 processor subset, I guess you'd call it. Nah, anyway. Oh, I guess I could just go down backwards. I got an achievement. I got an achievement for doing nothing. For sucking so bad that I had to cheat unintentionally. And I lost my wing. And there's an XP board that I really want to turn around and get, but I'm not going to. I'll come back and get that later. Woohoo! Got perks. I got 2 available points. Anything I really want? No. That's what I really want.
In 400 yards, turn right.
Oh, I turned the radio off? That's fine.
Turn right.
Whee! Right to a sign. Yeah, so this is, well, getting off topic, but this is what Forza Horizons are really kind of all about, is the fact that you can pretty much go anywhere. You are set in Australia, and you have quite a large portion of it. You don't have all of it available, but you have a good portion of it available to race from, to race with. And unlike the other Horizons, you are not actually participating in the Horizon event. You are the boss of the Horizon event. So you set up events and then race people in them. And you basically are promoting the event and by doing so. And by finding new roads, finding new events, discovering new promotions. It basically makes you feel literally like a boss. It's really awesome. And then, like I said, there's the fact that you have all of this. Everything you see here, pretty much, up to a certain point, you can go to. Like that city, it's there. Like that is actually there for me to race within. So yeah, these boards are basically just a really great way to get into gaming at not too much of a premium, and not just gaming, but also editing into actual gaming workstations. You know, gaming desktops or desktops in general, computers that you are going to use for far more than just for games, because they have, you know, the possible RAM capacity to hold up to higher end tasks. You know, to tasks that require a lot of RAM. You know, like virtualization machines, or running, you know, high-end emulators, or, you know, recording, video editing, making music, editing music. I mean, just so many things you can do with these. And they're not nearly as limited, because you actually are not like a lot of, you know, Intel systems up until Coffee Lake. You are not, you know, or up until, you know, this one, at least in terms if you want to pay a lot more money for your equipment. You know, for a reasonable price, you can get a motherboard for this, and a 6-core chip with 12 threads, or even a 4-core chip with 8 threads. But you can still do that with pretty much any Intel chip all the way up till Coffee Lake, for mainstream at least. And you can build a good system, and it's especially great because it supports DDR3, so you're not, you know, hampered by the price of DDR4 RAM, which is absolutely outrageous. I mean, you're talking minimum 150 bucks usually for 16 gigs, where 16 gigs of DDR3, I actually had a chance to get some for about, I think I could have gotten it for about 50 bucks. I kind of missed out, but it was also a little bit lower speed, but it was actually a speed that would have matched this system a bit better, because this really only supports up to 1333. Some of the motherboards on this chipset actually support up to 2000, so they're actually pretty dang good. Where like on my Z87 motherboard, which is a 4th gen Intel chipset, that actually supports up to, I think that one supports, that board actually does support up to,
Hey, Richard. I've identified another potential recruit for your lineup.
let's
I've
see.
marked their position on your map.
Oh, cool.
Turn left.
But yeah, what was I saying? That one I think supports up to 2400 megahertz, or some of those boards even go up to like 3200 megahertz, or even a little higher. Though, good luck
Turn
finding,
around
you know,
when it is safe to do so.
any DDR3 RAM over 2400 megahertz. I mean, it's prohibitively expensive. Just saying. And I rarely ever saw any of those in like an actual store when they were actually selling DDR3 in store at high volumes. When I started getting back in the building was
Turn around
like
when it is safe
not
to
too
do
long
so.
after they started offering DDR4 RAM. You know,
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
at all. I mean, because
400 yards.
they didn't even have it in their mainstream on any of the mainstream Intel chipsets yet. Like it was still only available on their extreme
Left.
chipsets, like the LGA 2011 V3 motherboards.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Yeah, I'm ignoring you, Anna. You know that, right? Okay, can't. Oh wait, I think that's actually. Oh, okay, it's over here actually. I ain't gone far enough. There we go. There we go. But yeah, so as I was saying, this was the first Extreme Series chipset available. Wow, I need to get out of this. So let's see. World map. Need a new hub. Shit, you'd think there'd be a fucking hub over here, but there's not. As far as I know, the closest hub would be. Wait, can I fast travel? 200 credits. Yeah, I fucking spend that. I don't want to travel all that way right now. No, unless the fucking loading screen's gonna take longer than what it took me to drive there. Ew, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, yeah, sorry. Because these are the first to start offering more than 4 cores way back in like 2010 or so, 2011. And that didn't even trickle down to mainstream up until, at least for Intel, until Coffee Lake. Technically, AMD had them available since, you know, I think it was the Athlon X2, what was that, 1055T, which was a 6-core, technically, 6-core Athlon chip on the AM3 platform. Freaking old. I actually think it came out right around the same time as this too. Maybe maybe a little earlier. Okay, so I want to go to my garage, my cars. Want some front wheel drive, so let's filter. I just want front wheel drive because normally they're going to be a little easier to control. Not that they have to be, but or that they actually are, but that's just kind of what I want to drive right now. Hey, give me that option, thank you. Front wheel or all wheel? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I still don't know why the hell it gave me. I think it gave me like 4 Ford Raptors. I'm like, why'd you do this? Sorry, I should not. B60 or S60? I don't have any of them optimized on those. Yeah, I gotta go back and optimize a lot of these. Yeah, that's fine. I'll have to get a drink here soon. Yeah. Yeah, what time is it real quick? Yeah, I should really get going. But I'm going to drive around a little bit more. Just for a bit. Because I enjoy this game. It's really, really fun. Oops, sorry. Ah, I didn't load in yet. Okay. There we go. I'm still not loaded in. What the bloody hell? Yeah, okay. Yep, definitely feels a lot heavier. Not. It's actually technically, I think, a little bit lighter, maybe, or maybe not lighter than the way I had the other one modded, but steering's heavier. It is front-wheel drive, and we are on sand. Dirt, gravel, whatever. But should be a little easier to control it, just in the fact that it's not nearly as fast. There we go. It's actually pretty close in speed to my real-life car, which is a 2007 Saturn Ion Redline, though this is technically faster. Technically it is. I wouldn't say by a lot, and I could probably get the Saturn to be faster than this. These are fun cars, I like them. Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue, the only real big issue with getting this type of setup, like with the X58 motherboards and the Xeon, really is the motherboard. The motherboards are the most expensive.
Nearby. Would you like me to set a route there for you?
Sure. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but okay, fine. But is that the motherboards? They are literally the absolute most expensive part of any X58 build. I mean, because the Xeon chip, you can usually, like this one here, I got for about 35 or 30 or so. I think I might have gotten it down to 25, but you can usually get a similar one for around 20 to 25, or even a little bit less. If you get like the 5650 instead of 5660 like I got, or you can spend a little bit more, I think like 35 or so for 5670, which is a little higher clocked. I think they're 2.9 gigahertz. Or you can even get like a WF, like one of the W series chips. And amount. Some of those are right around like 70, 80, but they also are clocked at like 3.03 or 3.2 or so gigahertz. So they're much higher clocked, and so you don't have to overclock them as much if you don't want to, at all. And they also have higher thermal limits. So that also means, which also means they pull more power. Excuse me, but it also means they have higher overclocking potential, technically. They're less likely to break when you overclock them. Unless you do something really stupid. Oh yeah, that's right, I already got that one. And then you would also, getting a good motherboard is really the most expensive part. Because yes, there are other cheaper, x58 motherboards. Hell, there's a Dell like XPS 9100 motherboard I was looking at last night on the stream. As an example, that's going for like around 50 to 60 bucks. But the problem is it's an OEM, more than likely it's locked down, so that you can't overclock it. So yeah, if you're gonna get like one of the W model Xeons, or even one of the i7, like the i7 970, which is what you want to get if you're going to get a 6-core. And these are all 6-core ones I'm talking about. There are 4-core, 8-thread i7s available for, especially Xeons, that are available for cheaper. Yay, got a wheel spin. Please get me a car for once. And of course, you can't go up one. You just fucking give me the lowest amount of credit possible, as always. Man, I've been so screwed over by this game on fucking credit spins. Oh! Seriously! Fudge. I could have got a Ford Festiva at least. Would have been fine. I don't have that one. God. Sorry, this is an ongoing frustration, is that I've literally been screwed out of just about every fucking possible car I could have gotten on a spin. Like, it should all be luck, I know, but my luck on this game on spins has been terrible. I think I've gotten maybe 2 cars out of probably 20 or 30 spins. It's kind of embarrassing and very frustrating. Whee! But yeah, I mean, because the best boards available are going to be Asus or EVGA. I would really love to get my hands on an EVGA motherboard for this chipset. Honestly. Just for shits, just for grins, just for giggles, and just because it wasn't one of EVGA's first boards, but they're just unique. I'll just say that. They're definitely different. They have a whole design aesthetic about them that's different from others. Yep, that was me using e-brake. It's the only way to get a front-wheel drive car to spin around like that so easily. Without losing too much speed. Whee! Yeah, we're in Australia, so we had to drive on the wrong side of the road. Collected roads discovered, yeah. Or roads driven. Yep, really nice and smooth even in the city here. Not with a ton of traffic. Still getting, 70, 80 frames per second. Woo! Really close. Just need to lightly tap that e-brake. Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen. But still, it's a lot cheaper than, say, going with like a Coffee Lake 6-core CPU, like say even an i5. And because you can get the friggin' board. Oh, someone had a Borderlands design? That's cool. You can even get a, hell, you can get the board and for the price of one of those i5s, or like around, what, 150? You can have them.
More grist for the
Ooh,
rumor
really?
mill, mate. Abandoned car waiting in a rundown shack someplace.
Ooh, on
Go
the dry
do your
reservoir,
thing.
yes.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Yeah, I mean, you can have the board and the CPU all together. You can find a good board for around 100, 120. You can get the board and CPU all together, even with shipping, for less than the price of that friggin'
Calculating
i5.
route.
And yeah, the i5 will spank the living pants off of it, but then you don't have to worry about DDR4 RAM prices either. You spend an extra 50, you got 16 gigs of RAM, and you can use it in dual
100
channel
yards.
uh,
Turn right.
in dual channel form, or if you want to go with a little bit less, spend 40 bucks, get 12 gigs of RAM, 40, 50 bucks,
Turn
for
around
12
when
gigs.
it is safe to do so.
And then you've got, triple channel memory right there.
In
You're all
400
ready to do
yards.
some heavy duty
Turn left.
workstation tasks. Heavy duty video editing, or heavier duty.
Turn left.
And nice thing is that some of these boards do support like ECC server RAM, which you can get dirt cheap. Like literally ECC RAM, I think, if I remember correctly, like 12 gigs should run like 30 bucks or less. Or hell, you get 24 gigs, and I think I've seen those for less than 50 or around 50, if I remember correctly. It's been a while, because I don't really have I've only had a couple boards so far that actually support ECC RAM, and I never end up using them for that purpose.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
So yeah, I am gonna exit. I will see you guys later. Like I said, I do have to go. I do have quite a few things still to do, like putting this new cooler, and uh, really do got to get around to like changing oil in my car and changing the air filter, and they're not exactly easy to access, so they take me a little bit longer than normal. Considering it's probably the warmest day it's going to be here. It's supposed to be about I think 46 or so for like the next week and a half. So probably be a good idea. So I will see you guys later, and that also means I will probably be back around we'll say 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central. What is that? GMT -6 hours, if I remember correctly, if we're going by global time. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. And this is Skullcross signing out.